Hi, it's Steph, and tonight I'm going to work on getting my patio ready for summer. We've had a lot of pollen this year and everything's been covered in yellow dust. So it seems to have settled at this point, and I feel confident enough to bring out our dining table as well as our outside couch. So I'm going to work on that as well as putting together the rest of my summer containers from some annuals that I started from seed. So come and hang out with me while we get the patio ready for summer. I have these two baskets that I bought last year at TJ Maxx, and I never had a chance to plant in them last year because I wasn't quite sure how to fill them with dirt without anything getting through all of these, cracks. This is a plastic material though, so it is considered an outside basket. But what I thought about this year was using one of these grow bags as a liner for the basket. In fact, you can see I still have my tags in it. I paid $12.99 for them at TJ Maxx last summer. So I bought two of them, and these are 7-gallon, these felt type material grow bags. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to fold the lip over. Now these are permeable, so the water can get through them, which means they'll be able to drain. You don't have to make drain holes or anything. So what I'm going to do is just fold the edge over this way, okay, kind of create like a lip, just enough so that it will fit in my basket as a liner. And you might have to do that once or twice because I want the fabric liner to kind of sit right below the edge of the container. So I'm going to go ahead and fold that over even a little bit more. And you just kind of play with it until you get it to a place where you can sink it right inside. And that is perfect. There we go. So if you're looking at the basket from the side, you can't even see that there's a liner in it. And because they're black, they're going to blend in with the soil. Now I have these two nicotiana plants. They are a misty dawn, which is a really light pink. And a friend of mine, a gardener friend of mine, had given me these two starts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant one in each of these baskets, and I'm hoping that once they are transplanted, they're going to be happy and fill this whole thing out. And so what I'm going to do first is I have a trick to kind of take up some volume inside of these containers. I had shared that with you in a previous video where I had used some upside down nursery cans and a really tall planter that I had. In this case, these are a lot smaller. I kept some of these packing pillows that come in your boxes when you get something in the mail. And I'm just going to stick one of these inside each of these baskets. So it's not taking up a lot of space, but just enough to save me a little bit on potting soil. This is an annual, so I'm not so concerned with a huge root system. So I think just putting this in there will be sufficient and won't take up as much of my dirt. So I'm going to go ahead, pour in some potting mix, and get these guys planted. These are some geraniums that I overwintered in my basement from last year. I gave them some fish emulsion fertilizer about a month ago, and they are flushing out and putting on such great buds. It's this really pretty pink color. This is another one that I overwintered. I have 3 in total. I have these 15-inch clay terracotta pots that I got at the Home Depot recently. It's called like the Southern pot, and the name is like Michelle, or it's the Southern collection called Michelle. But anyhow, I paid $9.98, which I thought was a great deal. But recently these were $4.98. So I'm gonna go ahead and look on the Home Depot website, and if I can find them still being sold, I'll go ahead and put the link in the bottom here on the video description. But I'm gonna put these white cosmos. They're called Princess. They're a dwarf variety of white cosmo. I use them in some of my other planters over by the shed, and I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of these in these planters. I also have these 3 planters behind my outdoor sectional, and I typically like to put things in here that I either haven't planted yet or that are perennial. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my plant stash and see what I can come up with. Here's what I came up with. So these are all things that I have either overwintered or recently bought that I'm not sure exactly where to put it in the landscape, but I know that I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave them here in these pots, and I think that this grouping looks really nice. So here I have a Sedum Cyboldi, and what I really love about this Sedum is that it almost looks like eucalyptus. In the center, I have this yellow hinoki that I recently got at Home Depot. This is what it's called. It is a Hinoki Cypress Fern Spray Gold. I paid about $30 for it, and I love it. But I haven't decided where I want it in the landscape, so I think it looks really nice in this pot. So it's going to live there for a little bit. And I recently got this viburnum. It's a proven winner's viburnum. It's called Steady Eddie, and it's new in garden centers this year. And I recently picked that up at Lowe's, and I think it looks really nice. So this is the grouping that I have. So I'm going to share a little trick with you. You see that sedum that I just showed you, the Cyboldi, that I think looks like eucalyptus? Well, last year I had broken off a couple of pieces and I stuck it in this bowl. This is kind of a sedum bowl that I have going on. And look, it rooted and it's already spreading. So that's the thing with sedum. If it ever breaks off, all you have to do is shove it back in some dirt and it will root for you so quickly and create new plants. I ended up putting the sedum over here, so now we'll have some Cyboldi sedum there and here. I just noticed this gorgeous iris near my shed is in bloom. This is called tiramisu. I was looking through my plant stash and I remembered that I had this fiddle leaf fig that I bought. Fiddle leaf fig. And I got this, it was a house plant. I did clean it up quite a bit because it had a lot of foliage that was a little bit tattered. But I got it on clearance. Let me show you. It's kind of faded, but I paid $5 for it. And I was going to use it as a house plant. But because it's more humid outside than it would be in my house, I thought, well, it could work as an outside planter for the summer. And I'm going to work on planting the viburnum. So that's what we're going to go with. The fiddle leaf fig, the hinoki, and the Cyboldi sedum. Here's the tag. Yeah, so it prefers medium light. So it'll get medium light here because it's kind of behind the couch. But I noticed that there's a bunch of new leaves coming out. So that's really good. Yeah, so hopefully it likes it out here and it grows for us this summer. Here's where I placed my baskets with the nicotiana. I put one on either side of my Adirondack chairs. In the center, I have my fig tree. This is a Desert King fig, which I've had for 3 years and it hasn't given me any figs yet. So if you have any tips, I would love to have them. Please place them in the comments below. Here is a rosemary. This one is called Spice Island. and my other geranium that I overwintered. I set up these new planters this year and I put in them some black-eyed Susan vine that I started from seed. And I got these really cool trellises off of Amazon. I can link them below if you're interested, but they can be configured in different ways. So I have it like this, kind of just across the front so that my vine can kind of climb up. But they also can be put into a round configuration to be like a tomato trellis or something if you wanted to. Here's my first black-eyed Susan bloom. Doesn't really look like that now, does it? Hopefully some of the blush colored ones are coming, but it's starting to climb, so that's a good sign. I just cleaned my bird bath water fountain, and because this is in sun, I have this problem with my water fountain always getting algae. And last year I found this product. It's called FounTec. I got it on Amazon and I can link it below, but it's an Algaecide and Clarifier. So after I clean it, I put about 4 or 5 drops in here, and instead of washing it out every 2 days, I can go about 5 days between cleanings, which is awesome. And it's safe for bird baths. It just says don't, not to use it on anything that you would have fish in, but otherwise I'm really enjoying this product. So we got a lot done tonight after work. I'm glad to have gotten all of our stuff out and ready for the summer. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.